Yep, that's right. The most accurate statement ever on this podcast network. Cha Cha screws it up better than anybody, but at least he makes an effort. Morning to you all. Cha Cha, there is nobody like Cha Cha. Nobody. And there's a reason for that, okay? Some good, some not so good. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard on a lovely Tuesday morning. Just checking the quality of the sound, and away we go. Okay, so Cha-Cha is doing a great job. If you're listening to this on Spreaker or Spooker or iTunes, YouTunes, Looney Tunes, Cartoons, Cha-Cha show comes aboard right before 9 o'clock, around 8:20, 8:45, something like that, and you can't miss it. You can't miss it. The only one who comes on, and after he presses the on button, he says, okay, what do I talk about? That's what happens, and that's what he does. He's a delightful personality, and love him to death, man. Love him pretty good. Okay, anyway, that takes care of that malarkey. A lot of stuff right here, and let's get right to it. And, you know, we all know that baseball is a copycat sport. And as an example, we can go back to when John Wetland was the closer for the New York Yankees, and they brought up this kid named Mariano Rivera, to be the setup man to John Wetland. And you know something? It really worked pretty well. And then everybody started to and that's when the setup man first came into vogue. With Mariano Rivera. And then, of course, other teams followed. And year after year, everybody's coming up with bullpen guys. And until, like, the last couple of years when we saw the effector as Andrew Miller, powered his way through in the 7th inning, in the 8th inning, in the 9th inning. And we saw this year the Yankees making a big effort to sign as many relief pitchers as possible. So many teams went out and signed relief pitchers, and we all said the game is changing because the relief pitchers are actually better than the starters. And that's the way it's been. Relief pitchers, you used to play baseball to work the count so you can get rid of the starter. Now it's become that you don't want to get rid of the starter because the relief pitchers that come in are better than the starters. But, and here's the big but. And when it comes to big butts, you know that I know what I'm talking about. But the relief pitchers have a higher ERA than starters for the first time since 1969. And only 3 years ago, the earned run average was almost a half a run better than the starters. 3 years ago, relief pitchers had an ERA of 3.93, and starters had an ERA of 4.34. Now, of course, that doesn't come from memory. I'm actually reading that. That's part of my notes. Yeah, the bullpen ERA this year is the second worst in the past 69 years. And only the year 2000 was worse, and it's the 8th worst of all time. And it's getting worse. As the workload piles up, monthly bullpen ERA this year, 4.37 in April, 4.45 in May, 4.72 in June, making for the worst June for relief pitchers since 1950. And what's going on? What is going on? And look, the modern game is based on the premise that the power-on reliever is a better option than a starter facing a lineup for the third time. Makes a lot of sense. And so every year since 2016, managers have put more and more work on the bullpens, and they hit another record this year at an average of 3.6 innings per game. Starters are pulled after an average of just 88 pitches, down from 97 in just 9 years. So you see the way baseball is going. And over the past 2 winters, teams have spent what? About $8.5 million each on 26 veteran free agent relievers. Now let's just take a step back. At least 19 relief pitchers can be classified as poor investments, or you could even call them outright busts. David Robertson, Andrew Miller, Jeurys Familia. Who else could? With Cody Allen, just signed with Minnesota. Joe Kelly, Brandon Morrow, Tommy Hunter. Colorado thought they had something with Jake McGee. Wade Davis, Brian Shaw, Luke Gregerson. You can just go on and on, throwing power sliders and maximum effort with the high-velocity fastballs, 50 to 70 games a year, not to mention all the times when relief pitchers warming up in the bullpen. Guess what? It has taken a toll. Absolutely taken a toll. Good morning to everybody. And that's the saga of relief pitchers. So it's going to be fascinating when we take a look and see how the teams are going to react to this. We don't get any more complete games, all that stuff. So it's really wacko, really wacko. All right, now we all know about Phil Regan and the fact that he's become the pitching coach of the Mets. Can anybody tell me? And without Unholy Toledo in here, all right, what was Phil Regan's nickname? Now, Phil Regan returned last week to Wrigley Field. He's called the interim pitching coach of the Mets. He not only provided a link to the 1969 Cubs, but he also provided a link to an era where pitching staffs were used very differently than they are now. Now, Regan pitched 68-72. He was their bullpen ace for the first of those seasons, and that was the term, bullpen ace. The closer didn't really come into vogue until like the late 70s when the Yankees used Goose Gossage and the Cubs with Bruce Sutter, and they pioneered the practice, of course, of saving the best reliever to finish close games. Now the best reliever comes in. That's right, D.K. Luce got it. Phil Regan was called the Vulture. And I already went on my rant. Who else got it? Beach Bum got it. The Vulture was Phil Regan. And I'll tell you, I don't care if he's 82, whatever he is, 92. Look, the guy's got enthusiasm. The guy's got knowledge. But it's a different world. Regan led the majors with a career-high 25 saves in 1968. 17 pitchers had at least 25 saves last year, led by, of course, Edwin Diaz. Bullpen aces were expected to enter the games earlier than closers and pitch multiple innings. And we saw 1968. Regan appeared in 73 games. He pitched 134 innings. He entered one game in the fourth inning and appeared in the seventh inning or earlier 21 times. He was the original effector. And last year, Diaz also appeared in 73 games, but pitched only 73 innings. He never appeared earlier than the eighth inning, and he did that only 3 times. And we saw this year when Rastiel and Iglesias from Cincinnati actually declined to be used this way. All right, so look, although closers pitch fewer innings than the old-style bullpen guys, relief staffs pitched much more. Last season, 40% of the innings were pitched by relief pitchers. 1968, relievers pitched only 26% of the innings. And in 2018, 238 pitchers, that's nearly 8 per team, made at least 30 relief appearances. 50 years earlier, with 20 teams in the majors instead of 30, only 66, not 238 pitchers, just more than 3% made at least 30 relief appearances. So it's a different ball game, but the knowledge of, look, 1968, when Regan had his last year, he finished 62 games. Now Diaz finished 65 last season. Over the top 20 in saves that year closed 23% of the games, while starters finished 27%. And in 2018, starters finished less than 0.9% of the games. So it's a different ball game, but still, Regan knows how to do it, and let's see if he can. Let's see if he can. So, whole different ball game. Good morning to the Beach Bum, who's going to be visited by Cha-Cha next week. The Beer Man, Bradley is here. Brooks has joined us again. Greg is here. Cam, Cha-Cha, Charlie. That's the same guy. DK Luce is here. Dunky Oki, Devaka Bizzle, Easy Kill. Jonathan Danger, Cole, and Leonard Donaldson, and Lou Landers. I called you back, Lou, last night, so if you can, give me a call later. Traveler, Unholy Toledo, who is the vulture of the chat room, and White Sox Al, good morning to you all, and thanks for coming aboard. Now, I have to rant about one thing, and I am sure that 100% of the people in the chat room are going to support this. It's arguably the dumbest move that I think that Major League Baseball has done in years, all right? Years. And after the 3-game series at Fenway Park against the Chicago White Sox, which ends on Wednesday, tomorrow, in a day game, the Boston Red Sox take on a long-planned trip to London for a 2-game series against the New York Yankees. And Bull Dinky and Poppycock on this genius idea of taking the Red Sox and the Yankees out of either Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium to go to London. Look, you bring London, you want to play London? Put 2 good teams together, but don't put the Red Sox and Yankees, because in London, you put the Red Sox and Yankees in London, the people in London, they want to see, they don't get what's behind the Red Sox-Yankee series. They don't feel the atmosphere. Look, they want to see a ball game. Okay, fine. Let them see a good team. Good morning, Arnie. But not the Red Sox and the Yankees. You don't take that away from the people of America. It's our sport. We look forward to the Red Sox and the Yankees. But at Fenway, great. At Yankee Stadium, great. Not in London. Oh, would you put Manchester United and whatever, and who knows? In Citi Field? I don't think so. Anyway, it's just horrible. It's a stupid idea. Take 2 good teams. I don't care who you take. The only combination I wouldn't play in a foreign soil would be the Red Sox Yankees in a mid-season 2-game series. I think that's the dumbest move that I have ever heard, right? Although, look, football does send some pretty bad matchups, but they don't care. They don't care. A few Yankee, a few, so Easy Kill, a few less Yankee Red Sox games? Come on, man. I may come on the round table and shut you up, Easy Kill. That's stupid. From one of the smartest guys in town. Okay. 2019 American League batting war leaders. Mike Trout's on top. Anybody want to give a chance to see who is second in WAR? Mike Trout's got a 5.2 WAR. Who's second in the American League? Just offensive players. Who do you think is second? Third, or if we name let's see, second, third, or fourth of the top 4 is what I got. Trout's number 1. Name one of the guys who's second, third, or fourth. Anybody? Yep. All right. Andy's got that. Bregman. How does Andy know all this shit? I don't know. She doesn't look at my notes. All right. So Bregman is one of them. Matt Chapman is second with a 3.9. Jorge Polanco's got a 3.8. Bregman's got a 3.7. Okay. So it's pretty good. Yelich is the National League. This was only American League. Okay. So that takes care of that. Here are the new odds for the American League, by the way. Yankees are 2-1, Astros 5-2. The Twins are 4-1. This is to win the American League pennant. Red Sox are 8-1, and Tampa is 8-1. All right, Max Kempler made Bull Dinky and Poppycock, made nothing. All right, let's go through the games now. Arizona and LA. David Peralta, not just the games, we'll go around the horn. Anything that's possible to happen is happening, including the fact that Sunday will be the last Lady in the Legend show on Sirius XM radio for this year. the last show. Are you kidding me? I am saddened to have to say that, even though it really is. Let me tell you something.